In the quiet coastal town of Millbrook, nestled along the rugged Cornish coastline, Emma Collins fought a daily battle against life's unforgiving challenges. At 28, she carried the weight of survival on her slender shoulders, a burden that seemed to grow heavier with each passing day. The morning light crept through the thin curtains of her small one-bedroom apartment, revealing a space that spoke of careful economy. Every possession had a purpose, every corner optimized for practicality. Emma stirred from her restless sleep, the alarm clock's harsh buzz cutting through the early morning silence. Her day began before most people had even opened their eyes. By 5:30 a.m., she was already dressed in her plain white bakery uniform, her dark hair pulled back into a neat ponytail. The local bakery where she worked was a small family-owned business on the town's main street, a place that had been a cornerstone of Millbrook for generations. The bakery owner, Margaret, was kind but practical. She appreciated Emma's hard work and reliability, knowing that the young woman needed every penny she could earn. The morning rush would bring in local fishermen, early workers, and school teachers, all seeking fresh bread and warm pastries. But the bakery job was just her first shift. As the afternoon approached, Emma would change into her cleaning uniform and head to the local hospital. Night cleaning was challenging work, physically demanding and often lonely. While others slept, she would move through the sterile corridors, her mop and cleaning cart her only companions. Emma's story wasn't unique in Millbrook, but it was deeply personal. 2 years ago, she had lost her mother to a sudden illness, leaving her completely alone in the world. The medical bills had eaten through their modest savings, and Emma had been forced to put her dreams of becoming a nurse on hold. Her tiny apartment told the story of her struggle. A single bookshelf held nursing textbooks she'd collected over time, purchased second-hand or saved from small bonuses. Each book represented a dream that seemed just out of reach. She would study late into the night, her eyes straining in the soft lamplight, highlighting important passages and making careful notes. Money was always tight. Emma carefully tracked every expense in a small notebook, each pound carefully considered. Her meals were simple: porridge in the morning, a packed sandwich for lunch, and a modest dinner that she would prepare quickly after her cleaning shift. Luxuries were something she had long since forgotten. Despite the challenges, Emma maintained a quiet dignity. Her colleagues at the bakery and hospital knew her as a hard worker, someone who never complained, who always showed up on time, and who approached every task with determination. She might have been struggling, but she refused to be defeated. The town of Millbrook itself seemed to reflect Emma's resilience, a small community where everyone knew each other, where the wind from the sea told stories of generations of hard work and survival. The fishermen's boats would come and go, the local shops would open and close, and life continued its steady rhythm. On this particular morning, as Emma prepared for another long day, she allowed herself a moment of hope. She looked at her nursing textbooks, running her fingers over their worn edges. Somewhere deep inside, she believed that her circumstances were temporary. She believed that hard work would eventually open a door, any door, to a better future. Her mother's words would often echo in her mind. Keep moving forward even when it feels impossible. These words had been her guiding light through the darkest times. As the first customers began to arrive at the bakery, Emma adjusted her apron and prepared to face another day. Her smile was tired but genuine, a testament to her unbreakable spirit. She didn't know it yet, but her life was about to change in ways she could never have imagined. The morning sun continued to rise over Millbrook, casting long shadows across the quiet streets, illuminating the story of a young woman whose quiet strength would soon become her greatest asset. Emma Collins was more than her current circumstances. She was a dream waiting to be realized, a potential waiting to be unleashed. The hospital corridors stretched long and quiet during the late evening shift. Emma moved methodically, her mop sliding across the polished floor, creating neat lines that reflected the dim overhead lights. Most people would find this job monotonous, but for Emma, it was a chance to be close to the medical world she desperately wanted to join. Dr. Richard Thompson had been working late that night. A senior physician in his early 50s, he was known for his compassionate approach and keen observation. Something about Emma caught his attention, her careful movements, the way she worked with unexpected precision and respect for the space around her. As Emma cleaned near the nurses' station, Dr. Thompson noticed her pausing to read a medical poster on the wall. Her eyes scanned the information with genuine interest, not the casual glance of someone merely passing time. He watched her carefully adjust a slightly crooked frame, showing a level of care that went beyond her cleaning duties. "Interesting. Poster?" he asked, breaking the silence of the late-night corridor. Emma jumped slightly, caught off guard. "Oh, sorry," she stammered. "I was just reading about the latest community health initiatives." Their conversation began simply enough. Dr. Thompson asked about her work, and Emma shared more than she typically would. She spoke about her dream of becoming a nurse, her years of saving, and the financial challenges that kept pushing her dream further away. Richard listened carefully. He recognized something special in Emma, a determination that reminded him of his own early days in medicine. Years of medical practice had taught him to recognize potential, and Emma radiated a quiet, unbreakable spirit. "Have you considered the hospital's scholarship program?" he asked, noting her surprised expression. Emma explained that she had looked into it, but never believed she could qualify. Part-time work, limited savings, and the constant struggle to make ends meet had always seemed like insurmountable barriers. Dr. Thompson knew the hospital had several initiatives supporting local community members who wanted to pursue medical careers. He saw an opportunity to help someone who genuinely wanted to make a difference. Over the next few weeks, Richard began mentoring Emma subtly. He would stop and chat during her cleaning shifts, offering advice about nursing programs, sharing insights about healthcare, and gradually building her confidence. Emma found herself looking forward to these unexpected conversations. The hospital's education coordinator, Sarah Miller, was initially skeptical when Richard recommended Emma for a potential scholarship. But as he shared details about her work ethic and genuine passion, she began to see what he saw, a diamond in the rough. Emma's world started to change slowly. The scholarship wasn't a guarantee, but it was a possibility. For someone who had known mostly struggle, possibility was a powerful thing. She began preparing more diligently, studying harder during her breaks, and believing more strongly in her potential. Her colleagues at the bakery and hospital began noticing a change. Emma carried herself differently, with more confidence, with more hope. Her quiet determination became increasingly visible. One rainy Wednesday evening, everything changed. Dr. Thompson called Emma into a small meeting room after her cleaning shift. Sarah Miller was there, along with 2 other hospital administrators. Emma's heart raced, unsure of what to expect. "We've reviewed your application," Sarah began, her tone professional but warm. "The scholarship committee has decided to support your nursing education." The words seemed to hang in the air. Emma struggled to comprehend their meaning. Partial tuition coverage, flexible study options, and a potential part-time work arrangement at the hospital. It was more than she had ever dreamed possible. Tears welled in her eyes, not of sadness, but of pure, overwhelming hope. Dr. Thompson smiled, recognizing the moment's significance. He had seen many patients, treated countless individuals, but helping someone transform their life felt like the most profound medical intervention. As Emma walked home that night, the world looked different. The same streets, the same small town of Millbrook, but now filled with potential. Her cleaning uniform felt like a temporary costume, soon to be replaced by nursing scrubs. Sometimes, opportunity arrives when least expected. For Emma, it came during a late-night hospital cleaning shift, delivered by a compassionate doctor who saw something special in a young woman's unwavering spirit. The first day of nursing classes felt like stepping into a new world for Emma. The classroom, with its bright lights and rows of eager students, seemed both familiar and completely foreign. She was older than most of her classmates, her hands rougher from years of cleaning and baking, her eyes more determined. Emma's study routine became a delicate dance of survival and education. Her days began before sunrise at the bakery, where she would prepare fresh bread and pastries. The morning rush of customers became a rhythmic background to her growing excitement about her studies. By afternoon, she would transform from a baker into a student, rushing to change and grab her nursing. Textbooks. The local library became her second home, a quiet sanctuary where she could study between her jobs. Librarians knew her by name, watching her dedication with quiet admiration. Her evenings were split between hospital cleaning shifts and intense study sessions. While other students might complain about the workload, Emma saw each assignment as a precious opportunity. She would sit in the hospital's quiet corners during her breaks, highlighting medical terms and memorizing complex procedures. Margaret, the bakery owner, became an unexpected supporter. When Emma explained her nursing studies, she offered flexible hours and words of encouragement. "You're doing something special," she would tell Emma, adjusting the work schedule to support her dreams. The hospital staff slowly became Emma's unexpected family. Nurses who had initially seen her as just a cleaner now recognized her potential. They would share small tips, explain medical terms during quiet moments, and offer guidance that wasn't found in textbooks. Dr. Thompson continued to mentor her, sometimes appearing unexpectedly during her cleaning shifts. He would quiz her about medical procedures, challenge her understanding, and provide insights that went beyond standard curriculum. Money remained a constant challenge. Emma's budget was tight, every penny carefully calculated. Her meals became simple, packed sandwiches, affordable protein, and quick, nutritious options that could be prepared quickly. She learned to cook large batches of food that could be divided into multiple meals, saving both time and money. Her small apartment reflected her journey. One wall became a study shrine, covered with medical charts, anatomy diagrams, and motivational quotes. Sticky notes with medical terminology decorated her refrigerator, turning her living space into a constant learning environment. Colleagues at both the bakery and hospital began to notice her transformation. The tired cleaning worker was becoming a confident medical student. Her conversations became more informed, her movements more purposeful. Night study sessions became her sacred time. While the town of Millbrook slept, Emma would sit by her small window, the distant sound of ocean waves accompanying her studies. Her table would be covered with textbooks, notebooks, and cups of strong tea, her fuel for learning. The nursing program wasn't easy. Anatomy was complex, medical terminology challenging. But Emma approached each challenge with the same determination she had used to survive her previous struggles. Where others might give up, she found strength. Her classmates began to respect her unique journey. They saw someone who wasn't just studying, but truly transforming her entire life. Some would ask for study tips, impressed by her discipline and commitment. Dr. Thompson watched her progress with quiet pride. During occasional supervision meetings, he would challenge her understanding, pushing her to think critically about medical scenarios. The hospital became more than a workplace. It became her training ground. Emma started seeing medical procedures, not as distant concepts, but as real human experiences. Her cleaning work now felt like an extension of her medical learning, understanding the importance of hygiene and patient care. Her mother's memory became a constant motivation. Every difficult exam, every challenging shift felt like a tribute to the woman who had taught her resilience. Emma knew her mother would be proud of her journey. By the end of her first year, Emma had transformed. The tired, struggling cleaner was becoming a confident, knowledgeable nursing student. Her journey wasn't just about changing her job. It was about rewriting her entire life's narrative. Millbrook watched, a silent witness to a remarkable transformation, a story of hope, hard work, and the incredible power of believing in oneself. Sci-Fi. Old blue Volkswagen had been Emma's loyal companion for years. It wasn't fancy, but it had carried her through countless early mornings and late nights. When the engine suddenly died on a cold Tuesday morning, Emma's world seemed to stop. The mechanic's diagnosis was brutal. The repair would cost more than she had saved in months. Her carefully planned budget, which balanced nursing studies, work, and living expenses, now faced its biggest challenge. The car wasn't just a vehicle, it was her lifeline between the bakery, hospital, and nursing classes. Emma's first instinct was panic. Without reliable transportation, everything she had worked for could collapse. The nursing program was demanding, and her multiple jobs required her to move quickly between different locations in Millbrook. Dr. Thompson noticed the change in Emma during her next hospital shift. Her usual bright energy seemed dimmed, replaced by a worried expression that spoke volumes. During a quiet moment, she hesitantly shared her car trouble. "It's not just a car," Emma explained, her voice breaking slightly. "It's my connection to everything I'm working for." The hospital staff, who had watched Emma's journey, began discussing her situation during their break. They understood more than just her professional challenges. They recognized her incredible determination. Unexpectedly, Margaret from the bakery was the first to respond. She approached Emma during a morning shift, understanding the severity of the situation. "We're not letting you fail," she said firmly, her voice carrying the warmth of community support. A plan began to take shape. The hospital staff, led by Dr. Thompson, organized a quiet fundraiser. They understood that Emma wasn't just another employee. She was a potential future nurse who represented hope for their community. Colleagues from the bakery contributed. Nurses pooled their resources. Even patients who had witnessed Emma's hard work wanted to help. The fundraiser wasn't just about fixing a car, it was about supporting a dream. Emma was initially uncomfortable with the support. Her independent nature made accepting help difficult. But Dr. Thompson explained something crucial. Community isn't about individual strength. It's about lifting each other when someone struggles. The fundraiser exceeded expectations. Not only could Emma repair her car, but she also had a small emergency fund. The gesture was more than financial. It was a statement of belief in her potential. Her Volkswagen returned to life, repaired and ready. But something had changed in Emma. The challenge hadn't broken her. It had revealed the incredible support system she had unknowingly built. During her nursing classes, Emma approached challenges differently. The car incident had taught her that vulnerability wasn't weakness. Asking for help wasn't failure. It was a form of strength. Her study groups noticed the change. Where she was once reserved, Emma became more collaborative. She shared her experiences, understanding that every challenge could be an opportunity for growth. The hospital began seeing her differently. She wasn't just a future nurse, she was a symbol of resilience. Her journey represented something larger than her individual story, the power of community support and personal determination. Dr. Thompson watched her transformation with quiet pride. The young woman who had once cleaned hospital floors was becoming a confident, compassionate medical professional. Her challenges hadn't defined her, they had refined her. Millbrook, the small coastal town, continued to watch and support. Local businesses, hospital staff, and community members saw Emma as more than an individual. She represented hope, the idea that with support, determination, and hard work, dreams could become reality. As winter turned to spring, Emma's Volkswagen became more than a vehicle. It was a symbol of her journey, repaired, resilient, and ready to move forward. Her mother's words would echo in her mind, "Keep moving forward even when it feels impossible." Now those words carried a deeper meaning. Moving forward wasn't just about individual effort, it was about accepting support, showing vulnerability, and believing in collective strength. The challenges hadn't defeated Emma. They had transformed her, revealing a strength she never knew she possessed. The graduation hall was filled with excitement and hope. Emma stood among her fellow nursing students, her white uniform crisp and perfect, a symbol of her incredible journey. Her hands, once rough from cleaning and baking, now carried the gentle confidence of a trained medical professional. Dr. Thompson sat in the front row watching with a proud smile. He remembered the first time he had seen Emma cleaning the hospital floors, her eyes filled with quiet determination. Now she was about to become a fully qualified nurse. Millbrook had gathered to support her. Margaret from the bakery, her hospital colleagues, and even some of her regular customers sat in the audience. They weren't just observers. They were witnesses to a remarkable transformation. As Emma's name was called, the room erupted in applause. Her walk across the stage was more than a personal achievement. It was a victory for the entire community that had supported her. Dr. Thompson presented her diploma, his eyes glistening with emotion. The ceremony was a celebration of more than just academic achievement. It was a testament to resilience, hard work, and the power of community support. Emma represented hope for everyone who had ever felt their dreams were out of reach. Immediately after graduation, Emma began working at the same hospital where her journey had started. The cleaning corridors that had once been her workplace were now her professional domain. She moved with confidence, her medical knowledge replacing her previous cleaning routines. Her first weeks as a nurse were challenging. The responsibility of patient care was overwhelming. But Emma approached each shift with the same determination that had carried her through her earlier struggles. Her colleagues recognized her unique journey, from hospital cleaner to qualified nurse. Dr. Thompson assigned her to the community health ward, understanding her passion for helping people. Emma excelled, bringing a unique perspective that combined her years of practical experience with her medical training. The local community watched her transformation with pride. Young people in Millbrook began to see her as an inspiration. She represented the possibility of changing one's life through hard work and determination. Margaret from the bakery would often visit the hospital, bringing fresh bread for the staff. She would watch Emma with maternal pride, remembering the young woman who had worked in her bakery while dreaming of becoming a nurse. Emma's first major medical intervention came unexpectedly. During a routine checkup, she noticed subtle symptoms in an elderly patient that others had missed. Her careful observation and quick action potentially saved the patient's life. Her old Volkswagen, now carefully maintained, became a symbol of her journey. It had carried her through the most challenging years of her life and continued to be her faithful companion. The hospital began using Emma's story in their recruitment materials. She became a living example of how determination and community support could transform lives. Young people would ask to hear her story, inspired by her journey. Dr. Thompson saw her as more than just a successful nurse. She represented the best of what medical professionals could be: compassionate, determined, and deeply connected to their community. Emma never forgot her roots. She continued to support other aspiring medical professionals, offering guidance and sharing her story of perseverance. Her experience became a beacon of hope for those facing similar challenges. During quiet moments, she would reflect on her journey. The cleaning shifts, the difficult study nights, the financial struggles, all had been steps towards this moment. Her mother's memory remained a constant source of inspiration. The hospital became more than a workplace for Emma. It was a place of healing, hope, and endless possibilities. She approached each shift with the same enthusiasm she had shown during her cleaning days. Millbrook had changed too. The community now saw the potential in supporting individual dreams. Emma's story had become a powerful narrative of what was possible when people came together. As the sun set over the coastal town, Emma stood by the hospital window. Her reflection showed a confident, compassionate nurse, a far cry from the struggling cleaner she had been just a few years ago. Her journey wasn't just about becoming a nurse. It was about proving that with determination, support, and hard work, any dream was possible. The quiet strength that had carried her through years of struggle had finally blossomed into a remarkable success story.